Calaroga Shark Media.
Hi-ho, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Tim Heidecker is campaigning to play J.D. Vance on SNL. During his Office Hours podcast this week, Heidecker acknowledged the support of his fans, as he called it a huge outcry, a huge movement to get me to play J.D. Vance, perhaps on SNL. He grabbed a suit and some eyeliner to complete the look. He then auditioned for the role, saying in a not trying too hard J.D. Vance impression, saying, "A lot of crap happened to me lately, a lot of crap that has happened on the road. It's kind of effed up." In other words, people were kind of rude to me online, I noticed. Heidecker got real-time notes from his guest, former Mad TV cast member Will Sasso. He then pulled out a bottle of Diet Mountain Dew and took some swigs. I tried to pull the clip here, but it wasn't just going to work for audio podcast. Tim Dillon weighed in on the election. On his podcast, Tim said, "So, this frozen abominable snowman, Tim Walz, and I would respect him if he said, 'We burned down Minneapolis, and if we lose, we'll burn down America.' I'd respect that if he went out and said, 'You're damn right we had riots, and January 6th is going to look like a kid's birthday party compared to what we'll do. We'll burn it all down.'" So they get Funnel Cake Dad. Funnel Cake Dad is the folksy history teacher with no money that the Democratic Party thinks that this guy should be president because he's completely broke. He's like a character of Jed Bartlett from The West Wing. He lives in the land of 10,000 lakes, and the Democratic Party likes because he's kind of keeping it all together up there. He called on the National Guard in 2020, but he waited a day. He let everybody get it out of their system before he called in the National Guard. A lot of these riots, things that he and his wife expressed some level, and they kind of enjoyed these things. Tom Papa has a new Netflix special coming out October 29th, filmed at the Warner Theater in Washington. Great theater. This one is called Home Free. It's Papa's third special. I am a big fan of Tom Papa's comedy. It speaks to me, especially when he does dad stuff and husband stuff. Really like it. I can't remember which Netflix special it was. I think it's You're Doing Great from 2020. There was a lot of clapter in it. It was really awkward. I remember commenting about that on the podcast, that Tom would do these big things and not get any laughs. He'd get claps, but clapter is awful, so hopefully this one has some laughs. In Home Free, Tom Papa holds nothing back as his kids are finally out of the house and it's just him, his wife, and a bunch of animals ready to return to their glory days. Tom has seen a lot over the years, from close calls with a pachinko ball to late-night 7-Eleven runs, and he's sharing all his thoughts as he parties onto the next stage of life. Pauly Shore was commenting on when he first saw Robin Williams performing stand-up at the Comedy Store in L.A., which was owned by Pauly's mother, Mitzi Shore. Pauly Shore tells People, "The guy was special. His improv skills mixed in with the stand-up was just another level. He'd literally go on stage and just grab someone's drink and someone else's jokes and then do 10 minutes on it. When Robin was going off, everyone gathered in the back to watch. My mom's office for the Comedy Store was at the house, and Robin used to come over to pick up his $25 check or wherever it was. I remember he was in the middle of filming Mork and Mindy, and he'd still be in his outfit. We'd just mess around. He was the same guy on stage, off stage, just very playful and cool. I encountered Robin once at, I'm brain locking on it. What's the, I know I could look this up and you're all talking to your phone, but I recorded this yesterday. What was the big comedy fundraiser they used to do on HBO? Why don't you just look it up, John? Because that's not fun. That thing, I was at one of those. Comic Relief. That's what it is. Stop screaming at your phone. You're like a crazy person in the car. I saw the calm Robin Williams, not doing the act, just behaving the way most people do when they're not being Robin Williams on stage. Nice guy. Pauly Shore says of his mother, Mitzi, she was like a den mother to these comics. She'd take them in. Most of them were jobless, semi-homeless, and didn't have any money. And if my mom saw that, she'd always make sure they had a place to stay. Robin wasn't anything like that. He had his own thing already coming in from San Francisco. This was the late 70s when she was sort of developing him, and his fame skyrocketed soon after. You knew what was going to happen to him when you saw him. You could tell he was destined to do movies. After he was famous, he'd always come up to me and give me a hug, ask me how my mom and brothers were doing. He still fits into everybody's hearts. That's why it wasn't a normal situation when he died. It was so emotional. He connected with so many people. Look at films like Good Morning Vietnam or all his films. He always put his heart into it. That came through with who he was as a person as well. Hey, Johnny Mac, how come nobody ever writes any articles about how much Nikki Glaser likes Taylor Swift? I know, right? Like somebody, the Hollywood Reporter wrote such an article. Whoosh. I know I've been commenting a lot lately about publicists earning their money. I'm saving for, I think, tomorrow. There's yet another Nikki Glaser story about how she's the queen of comedy now. Tap the brakes. So Nikki Glaser's publicist. Yeah, you deserve a raise, too. A lot of that going around lately. In the latest episode of the Nikki Glaser publicity tour, she was asked about a video of her dad and said, "He's finally a Swiftie." Nikki has not heard from Taylor Swift and says, "Honestly, I don't even expect it." Well, not for lack of trying. "I don't think about it. I'm so purely a Swiftie with no agenda to be in her life or get any status from being in a certain tent." I never want to monetize my love for her or ever think that she thinks I'm trying to get a headline by talking about her. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll just do an article in the Hollywood Reporter about it. You know, I'm not trying to get more downloads by openly calling Joe Rogan a coward and challenging him to a fight in the octagon. I'm not doing that for more downloads. I'm doing that for my love of MMA. Nikki says, it's a tool I'm sure she's aware people are using, even though they have nothing to do with her. They sound off about her, and suddenly they're in an article. What interesting insight by Nikki Glaser in an article about Nikki Glaser liking Taylor Swift in the Hollywood Reporter. Boy, yeah, I'd hate to think people are name-dropping Taylor Swift. That'd be terrible. Nikki says there was part of her that felt embarrassed, wondering if other comedians would make fun of her. Her concern was that people would say, she's doing this to get Taylor's attention, or she's doing this for some other reason than just genuinely loving something. She admits she was partially embarrassed to love something so much. I really do want to talk about Taylor Swift as much as my friends want to talk about their kids. She says she considered putting Taylor Swift content behind a paywall in order to weed out those looking to make fun of her and other fans. She decided against it, saying, I didn't want to make money off it. There was an idea to donate any money from the Taylor Swift paywall stuff to a cause Taylor Swift was passionate about, which I'll opine here, would get leaked by a publisher to the Hollywood Reporter, and we would be reading an article saying Nikki Glaser raised X dollars it donated to Taylor Swift's charity, and then there'd be a picture of Nikki Glaser and Taylor Swift in the Hollywood Reporter. Who we kidding, everybody? I don't read the comments. I just send a video to somebody who posts for me because I don't want to see if I'm being made fun of. Oh, you're not being made fun of at all. Trust me. It's my biggest fear, but I just love Taylor Swift and I can't hide it. Glaser believes Swifties will understand her hesitance in not wanting to look insincere. They know that it's just an unbridled love that doesn't really make any sense, but makes total sense. I may be a Swiftie before I'm a comedian. That's how strongly it resonates in my bones. I really don't know what I'm going to do with my life when Eras Tour is over. I really think I'll end up flying to different cities to go see Taylor Swift sing-along nights because it's something that I won't say I'm addicted to, but it's a joy. I just want to chase joy. I'm going to catch grief for that Nikki Glaser bit I just did. Before you get mad at me, go back and listen to that. And every time I say Nikki Glaser, pretend I'm saying George Lopez. And every time I say Taylor Swift, pretend I'm saying George Lopez tacos. That's all I'm doing there. Hey, we've got a new show. It's called 5 Minutes of Gratitude. What's that? It's 5 minutes of gratitude. Little mindfulness for you. 5 minutes, number 5, 5 minutes of gratitude wherever you get your shows. I'm mad I wasn't at this concert. You think Nikki Glaser likes Taylor Swift? Well, how about this one? Zach Bryan at his Philadelphia show, awesome to begin with, had Bruce Springsteen, the Lumineers, and Shane Gillis. Why wasn't I there? This happened last Wednesday at the second night of his 2-show stint in Philadelphia. One of the Lumineers came out and sang alongside Bryan for Spotless. Then Bruce Springsteen came out and they did Atlantic City, and then they did a song from the new The Great American Bar Scene album, which is a fantastic album. Talk about that in a second, called Sandpaper. My son turned me on to Zach Bryan, and he really likes the new album, and I listened to it and I liked it too. And I keep telling my son, you don't realize it, you like Springsteen, and he thinks he likes Zach Bryan. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of Springsteen vibes on that album, so it's music we can share together. Isn't that nice? Aw. Anyway, good album. Check it out from Zach Bryan. Everybody came back out to sing Revival, and they were joined by Shane Gillis. From Gossip Corner, did you watch Matt Reif's crowdwork special? Well, he maybe, perhaps, possibly has bought a home in Rhode Island. About 20 minutes from the Conjuring house. Back in April, NRI Now reported that an LLC had purchased West Wind Estate in a $3 million plus transaction. So Matt Reif is doing okay for himself. The property features a private driveway stretching a third of a mile, a 24-stall horse barn, 21 grass paddocks leased by the Prospect Hill Riding Academy, hay and machinery barns, an indoor and outdoor riding arena, a pool house, and a helicopter pad. The main house has 4 bedrooms, 6 fireplaces, 3 balconies, a winemaking cellar, a game room, and a 2-stall shooting range. Now, the LLC, according to records, is owned by a guy named Benjamin and managed by a woman named Christina. Christina is a California-based talent agent who works with stand-up comedians and comedic actors. Benjamin is a business manager for a New York City-based management firm that advises some names you've heard of, including Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, and Arsenio Hall. Although it was unclear who would assume ownership of the estates, Rife is one of the clients, and the stuff Rife said makes everybody think that it's Rife's house. Rife said, I look forward to waking up, seeing the sun coming through my window, and the view that I get on a sunny day is just stunning. Rife also says that he enjoys ghost hunting. has been to the Conjuring house and has described the Conjuring universe as his favorite horror movie franchise. All right, Matt Reif, you go. Hey, it's the Columbus Comedy Festival kicking off today. We did a big preview of that on Saturday. If you missed that episode, let's see what we got tonight. 6 o'clock, Toxic Waves at Mad Lab. Saul Trujillo at 7. River Butcher at 7. 5 other shows at 7. 8 o'clock, Don't Tell Columbus. 8:30, Drunk PowerPoint. 10 o'clock, Michael Ian Black. And 3 other shows at 10 o'clock. All right, John, what would we do if we were in Columbus? Well, I'd hit up Walker Evans and be like, hey, remember that big interview I did? You got any passes? And we'd go see River Butcher and Michael Ian Black. It's the Columbus Comedy Festival, columbuscomedyfest.com. You should go. And that is your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too. And I'll see you tomorrow.